Who? What's up, you guys? I'm not amazing, I'm just mediocre. Welcome back to the channel and this Apex Legends video. Today we're taking a trip back in time to do another Bloodhound guide. Now, Bloodhound was the first legend I ever made a guide for, still one of the most popular videos on my channel, but their kit has changed quite drastically. Used to be kind of weak. The tactical was practically useless, giving you only a snapshot of enemies. The ultimate took a really long time to activate, and there were even a couple of exploits to skip the animation for that ultimate. Like if you were on a zip line, you could skip it. I also discovered that if you were in the middle of mantling, you could skip the Bloodhound ultimate animation. But some of these things have changed, like the animation exploit has been patched out, and there's been a lot of buffs in general to Bloodhound's kit. So now we're going to revisit this legend and talk about all the changes that have come from Season 2 and Season 3 to make Bloodhound an even better legend than they were before. Let's get right into it. Starting with Bloodhound's passive, the ability to see enemy tracks and footprints that have recently occurred. Now this has changed in a couple of ways. It used to only be 60 seconds that you could see these icons show up. Now it's up to 90 seconds that these icons will last. And then they do start as bright red, and as they get older they start to fade away to white. And so you can kind of tell how soon or recently the enemy has been there. But unfortunately something right now is currently a little bugged. It doesn't actually tell you how many seconds since the enemy has been there. So you're going to have to do some mathematical guessing. Every diamond has a bar traveling around it, and you can see where that bar is kind of corresponds to how many seconds have passed. So every corner is worth about 22.5 seconds. So first corner, it's been about 20 seconds since they've been there. If they're in the middle corner, at the bottom of the diamond, that's been 45 seconds. If it's up to the third diamond corner of that, then it's been over a minute since they were there. So kind of make sure you use those little hash marks to figure out where those enemies were and how long it's been since they've been there. And then of course, one of the great abilities that Bloodhound has with this passive is to see all of those tracking icons down a scope. So you can see me watching these two individuals, scouting them out from a long range. If I didn't actually see them putting these tracks in, I would have been able to tell that there have been people here very, very recently. This is a great way to utilize Bloodhound's passive, is to look ahead at the area that you want to go, see if there are enemy tracks there to let yourself, know if there's anybody been there in about the last 90 seconds or so. Moving on, we have Bloodhound's tactical ability, which is the Eye of the Allfather, a vision pulse. It's a lot bigger than it used to be. It goes out in a giant cone, 120-degree angle, and will highlight enemies through walls. But unlike before, instead of leaving you just a snapshot, it actually gives you a nice moving image of the character that lasts for about 2 seconds or so. So you can see them through the wall and where they are going through that wall. It's a whole lot more useful than before the patch. But I gotta say, I still hardly ever use this ability because it does give your presence away. The enemies can see that giant orange wave coming out, and yeah, sure, you know where they are, but they definitely also know that you are inside that building, and they're ready for a fight too. So I gotta be honest, this is still the ability that I use the least out of Bloodhound's kit, even though it is drastically better than it used to be. It's just kind of too much of a trade-off. It doesn't give me that much for how much I give away. And it can be useful in certain situations if you need to be able to see through smoke or something, but otherwise, I just really don't find myself using the tactical pretty much at all in combat, and even when I have used it, it's almost gotten me in trouble. Like right here, I thought that lady was a little bit farther away. I was trying to figure out where she went. I almost got myself killed by using the tactical and have my hands down in the middle of combat instead of gun up. Now moving on to Bloodhound's best ability, their ultimate, the Beast of the Hunt. This ability changes your screen into a giant digital threat scope where everything you see is either black and white or highlighted red to be a bad guy. This also makes you 30% faster, and so not only can you see enemies wherever they are, even through smoke, but you also have an increased ability to catch up to them and maneuver in the fights. This has gotten kind of a bug, where it used to only give you 25% speed, now it gives you 30% speed, and the activation time is also shorter than it used to be as well. So when you press the activate, it's going to take less time to pop off than it did back in the old days, and this is hands down the best reason to use Bloodhound. You can use it in so many different ways in terms of if you're running away from the circle, you're a little bit too far from the ring and need that extra speed boost. Pow! Pop off your ultimate. You got 30% extra speed. You'll be able to outrun that ring. If you need to catch up to your friends who are in the middle of a battle and you're a little bit far behind, pop that ultimate. Not only will be able to move faster, but you'll also be able to see where the enemies are and give some of that intel, that information, provide that to your team so they can, you know, do just as well in the fight as you can. And then it's fantastic for third partying. You hear fights going on over the hill, you pop that ultimate and you rush in and you mess up both those teams' day. Now, the exploit to cancel the animation doesn't work anymore. Bloodhound can now activate with one hand instead of two. So if you're on a zip line, you'll still do the animation. If you're trying to climb a wall, you'll still do the animation. There's no way that you can just skip it anymore. But since they made the animation overall faster in general, it's not that big of a deal anymore. You don't really need the exploit like you used to, because now it just activates really fast and you can just push yourself into battle. So overall, Bloodhound has gotten a lot of buffs that have made them a lot more of a top tier legend. But this guy is not somebody for defense. He's not a legend like Gibraltar that has a big gun shield and a lot of extra health. He's not a legend like Caustic where you can hole up inside a house and pull off defensive maneuvers. No, Bloodhound is aggro. Bloodhound is the hunter, right? So you listen for those gunfights, you push those gunfights, you follow those tracks, and you hunt them down. Because that's what Bloodhound is good for. Bloodhound is the technological tracker. What's the point of having all these tracking abilities if you don't go hunting people down with them? It's just kind of a waste of Bloodhound's kit. If you're trying to hide, you're trying to camp, make sure you make full use of this kit. But just remember that Bloodhound is the aggro legend, not the escaping legend. Like, you don't have a grapple to fling yourself away from combat or a void portal to escape through. So once you get yourself in a situation, you gotta finish it. No backing down after that. That's about it for this updated Bloodhound guide. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I have my friend Stony McBrony providing me with Wraith footage, so a Wraith guide is going to be coming soon. Keep an eye out on the channel for that. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe for more Apex Legends content. And also Call of Duty stuff. I've been making videos for that game as well, the new Modern Warfare. In the meantime, I'm Mediocre, and I'm out.